Greetings, fellow members of the Airy, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of a new series covering Airborne Empire as a first look and tutorial hybrid. If you would like to skip the game's overview, please use YouTube chapters. So welcome everybody to Airborne Empire, a game I picked for this week. Airborne Empire is a game where you build your sky city while exploring a vast landscape in an open sandbox city as a city builder. Combining the methodical construction and management of a city builder with the unique lift, balance, and propulsion needed for a flying city, paired with compelling characters, dangers, and quests. It's a sequel to Airborne Kingdom, which I streamed quite a while back, and as per usual, this will air on YouTube. Additionally, it's sort of a hybrid of first look, let's play tutorial, and I'll be reading through the tutorial, and also all of the quests that aren't repeated. And the demo is downloadable, as far as I know. So, if you want to try it out for yourself, I think you can. So let's get to it. We made it to the skies. It's hard to believe our small group might remake the flying cities of old. But every story has a beginning. If we recruit new followers and truly grow this into a flying city, maybe we'll stand a chance against those sky pirates. It feels like they really rule the airways right now. Anyway, enough daydreaming about reuniting an empire. Our first priority is to build ourselves a hangar. That will let us gather resources from the ground below so we can build housing and other buildings. Once we've got our bearings, let's visit Havenmill, that big city north of us. Surely they have news of recent happenings. Current priority: build a hangar and houses. So, there will be a lot of tutorials in the game that pop up, and I'll be reading those, but just to give you a quick gist so you're up to speed. The top. There is a day-night cycle, and during the night, unilluminated paths will cause injuries and people to fall off your city. So if you click the light illumination, there will be a dome. Let me show you that real quick. This blue circle is what's going to be illuminated. And it's very important to only build in the illuminated zones unless you want injuries and deaths. You have food, water. Those are the resources that people need. And then you have coal, which is the resources that your flying city needs. You build with wood, iron, cloth. You can process iron from ore, and you can process cloth from cotton. And then there's also glass from crystals. You have a finite amount of storage. You can find relics, but none are currently available in the demo, as far as I know. And then coin. You also have health, if people are sick or injured. And then these are some warnings. So right now it's warning me that there isn't enough housing. Morale is good. And there's a lot of idle workers. This will say pop up if there's like damages to buildings or whatever. And then your city has lift, which keeps it aloft. So not enough lift in your city will crash into the ground. And then it can tilt. So if you build unevenly, it will tilt too far to one side or another, which can cause issues. And then there's also speed or propulsion. So a city that is too heavy without enough propulsion won't move very fast, which can be very dangerous and frustrating. So the first thing we want to do, as the tutorial instructed us, is to build a hangar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a tiny little path here out front and pair that with a hangar that is forward facing. And then if I right click on the map down here, it issues a move order to hover above that spot. So I'm heading to hover above this forest here so that we can collect more wood for construction. The hangar provides 7 aircrafts that can go down and harvest things. And I'm going to have 6 of them work at the forest and 1 work at the lake. I'm working at the lake because I have 14 of 30 water. So I will also want to refill my water as I hover above this forest for material. So taking a look at the map, there will be strategic resources like wood, which can regrow over time. Same with like thickets for food. And then some resources don't. So coal deposits or ore deposits are one and done. You harvest them and you're done. I'm also going to take one of the flyers that was harvesting the forest and actually send them to this ancient ruin, which will grant me coin. So now that we have the hangar built, I want to build houses. What is the goal of the stream? Just to play. There isn't a goal. And I'm going to want to build houses within the blue section so they're illuminated. And the way they work is, like, if any part of the house is illuminated within the blue, it's rendered safe. So, for instance, if you take a look, the hangar is mostly outside of the illuminated zone, but as long as some of it clips within the illuminated zone, it's fine. And because the hangar's so large, I wanted it to just, like, stick off the side of the flying city. So now I'm just waiting for some additional wood to be pulled in. And here is the aircraft returning back to the city with wood. And you can see that I have 18.3 wood per hour gain from the 5 aircraft that are harvesting it. And then the 1 aircraft that went to get the ancient ruin just got 209 coin from it. So I can send him back out too. And I have enough wood for some initial houses. The landing pattern is interesting? Yeah, they like spin around and do backflips and it looks pretty wild. Alright, so let's read some of these. Buildings and tilt. Any buildings must be connected to the town center via paths. These walkable platforms also act as sturdy connections between buildings. When placing buildings, be careful, pay careful attention to tilt, as adding too much weight on one side or the other will tip your kingdom, which will annoy your population and slow you down. So right now, I am tilting 3 degrees to the front, as a result of mostly front-loading the construction projects. I do plan on building in the back. 3-degree tilt is not terrible. It won't slow me down too badly. Basic controls. Left mouse button to select objects in the game, and right mouse button to move around. And then also Q and E to rotate. WSD commands to pan the camera around, and middle mouse as well. And then C, as in Charlie, recenters to the city. So if I could pan away and hit C, and it will pan back. Alright, I'm going to reduce the amount of workers in that other forest and put most of the workers in this new forest here. And I'm going to get 1 more house for the housing block. Movement. Unlike other kingdoms, your kingdom can move. Simply right-click anywhere on the land and you'll start moving in that direction. Being unmoored has its advantages. You can get closer to the resources you otherwise would be too far away. The closer you are to a resource, the faster you'll gather it. Because of, return trip and all. So because I want to gather the wood at this forest, I can move right above the forest, and it will be a very quick trip. Alright, so now we're heavy tilting to the front. Don't worry, I have a plan for that. People and work. On the top bar, you can see the amount of people that have joined you. So I have 10 people that have joined me, and 15 houses. On the left is the number of the people, and on the right is how many that can be housed. Each person requires a house. Inhabitants have no specifically assigned tasks. Will build any available construction. And then underneath, it will show you the idle count. So right now I have construction projects, which is keeping everyone employed. Researching new buildings. Construction on a flying platform is hard. Beyond basic and storage buildings, you must research any new constructions at an academy, so they may work in the skies. Your people don't have many ideas for buildings yet, but they can build an iron forge, which would be a useful addition, so you can transform ore into iron. Create an academy and start researching an adobe kiln. And gathering resources. You may be up in the skies, but you'll still need to gather resources from the ground. Your people can reach these resources with a hangar building. Hangars contain planes which allow your people to fly to the ground and grab materials. A hangar should be one of the first buildings you construct. In fact, it should be the first, because if you don't, you're kind of stuck without resource gain. Once you have one, left-click on a nearby forest to assign people to gather wood for more construction. So right now I'm saving up for Academy. And I'm going to be building in the Academy in the back to stop tilting so far forward. And then down here, there is a village. Just a tavern in this small settlement, huh? Seems like we may have caused a stir on our way in. Everyone in the town is eyeballing us right now. And the reason for this, of course, is that almost everything in the sky are sky pirates that have been terrorizing everybody that lives in this region. Though some of them may be interested in our flying home. If you think we need more working hands, I bet we could convince a few of those folks to join up, at least for a modest price. So 25, 25, 25, and 25. So we have 14 of 15 houses filled. And 7 of them are idle. Recruiting more people. For your kingdom to thrive, you must always look for more people to join. Potential migrants can be found at taverns in cities or small settlements. You'll need housing and coin. And Kadath, thank you for the gifted subs, and Damaves, and JT, and Queen Curiosity. Cheers to you all. So the first academy costs 30 wood, and I am saving up for it. I'm also close enough to this ancient ruin to send a worker over there as well. So the ancient ruins, as you can imagine, are kind of one and done. Once they're explored, there will be a little green flag there indicating that it has been explored, so that you don't have to, like, remember. And this ancient ruin over there is too far physically, so I'll get over there when I can. Is the tilt visible somewhere in the UI? Yes. If you mouse over the center here, the center is your lift and tilt. So I'm 4 degrees tilting to the front, and then to the right of that is your speed. So you can see tilt. You can also just see simply tilt here. It's a 4-degree tilt, and it's pretty visible. I have a bunch of idle people, so I might as well make a path. And I like to make paths all around the town center, just so that there's really easy connection points. So one of the next things I want to build is the academy, so that we can research some blueprints. And I'm going to put the academies one here, and I do plan on having another academy to the right. But that has reverted our tilt, so now we're only one degree front. As you can see, we're almost perfectly even. Look at our cute little villagers. So here are the things that you can research. You've got the basics, which is town center, housing block, hangar, and some unlocked things. For the housing block, it is denser housing that can grow in terms of stories. For town center, it is food and water consumption rate, lift, propulsion, morale, and shelter. Needs, I don't have any of that yet. Production is the iron forge, which I'll start researching now to be able to turn ore into iron. Storage would be warehouse, and then 3 unknowns. For lift, we only have the fan. For propulsion, we have nothing, and for combat, oops, go back there. For combat, we have nothing yet. So there's a lot of research to be unlocked. Speed. With each building you construct, drag is added to your kingdom, which slows down your movement speed. To get your speed back up, you must create propulsion buildings. You're continually using resources like coal, food, and water. The faster you travel, the less time it takes to get places, and the fewer resources you'll use along the way. And I'm just going to keep parking myself so that I can, I intend to build another academy. They're additive, so the more academies that you have, the better research you will have. And that gets to sort of like a high level of strategy, but essentially it is more weight and propulsion efficient to have few buildings that are really strong than many buildings that aren't, because a sprawling city is very hard to keep aloft and hard to keep propelled. So I like to get a lot of academies to improve the fans and propulsion and coal efficiency that we have. Hovering your mouse over the top bar will show information panels with insight into your kingdom. Some of these panels contain bulleted lists, which you can hover and click as a shortcut. Your inhabitants drop-down, for example, contain a list of all your workers' current tasks. Highlighting a bullet will highlight their workplaces, and clicking a bullet selects that workplace. So, there isn't a good example of that at the moment, but yes, you can have a lot of, like, for instance, if I hover over here and go, all right, 1 working at the lake, there's the lake that they're working on. I've selected it. Or 4 researching in the academy. Well, there's the academy. I just selected it. All right, we have enough for another academy. So what I'm going to do is reduce my flyers by 1 because we need 4 free people to build yet another academy. And I'll put it here. So our lift is soon going to be not enough. We're 56 out of 60, but we should be fine. So I just got the Iron Forge researched. And the next thing I want to do is research propulsion for the town center, because moving slow is unfun. I'm going to send 2 flyers down to the coal deposits, and then I'm going to mosey on over towards this ruin here. Your town center can only lift so much weight. In order to expand your kingdom, you must place buildings that generate lift. Carefully place your lift buildings to keep your kingdom in balance. Note that while other buildings pull to the side of the kingdom, lift buildings will push. So essentially, another way to combat tilt is if, like, we were tilting, let's say, way too far forward, I could put a fan in back and tilt it to the other direction. Let's collect some food and water. So our water's at 28, our food's at 23, and our coal's at 25. All pretty good. And now we have 2 academies going at the same time. So our research rate has effectively doubled. I'm going to part myself between these 2 ore nodes and start collecting ore. Our priority now is build, lift, and an ore refinery. So for us to build any additional anything to this, I'm going to need some additional lift because we're almost at our lift max. So that means employing the use of fans. Coal is maxed. And I'm going to send them down to get the ore. Now, before you ask, the map is not procedurally generated. This is what the map looks like. Not all of the map is available in the demo, but as you can see, it's big and sprawling. I don't know how big it will be because I'm only have access to the demo, but it seems to be pretty massive. So the next things I want to build is fans, but fans require steel or iron rather, and an iron forge. We might not have the lift capacity for. We'll see. There's other ways to deal with that as well, which is to research improved lift at the town hall so that the town hall gives more lift for our buildings. I do have one more spot for another person, so let's hire one more out of the tavern here, which will help speed up construction and collection rate. And my 2 workers working in the thicket will be recalled to go down to ore. I like how happy they look, hopping around. Okay. So if we mouse over the ore, you can see that we already have 16 ore collected, and we're collecting it 24 an hour. That doesn't mean we'll collect 24 more ore, because these 2 ore spots look to be nearly tapped. Yep, 1 just got depleted. So I'm going to start moving towards Haverhill, or Haven Mill, rather. Slowly, though, because we don't have a lot of propulsion, so our town hall is fairly sluggish. And that will be something we'll want to remedy soon. And then while we pass over this forest slowly, I might as well collect the wood there as well. Hoovering up everything. Once we hit 20 wood, I'll be able to construct the iron forge, provided that we have the lift necessary. I love their loop-de-loop holding patterns. Game looks real elegant when it's resource collecting like that. And you actually gain the resources once it's like dropped off and processed. So let's see. Production facility. I would need to free up 3 workers. 1, 2, 3. To build a iron forge. And I don't produce enough lift to support the weight. Which means I would need a fan, which means I need iron. But that's fine, because we are here in town and I'll be able to buy stuff like that. Haven Mill is the largest city in the area outside of the capital, Littalos itself. It's really grown from a small farming village it once was. We should visit Magistrate Agatha in the tower. Well, you folks don't look much like pirates. Oh, don't worry, we're not. Well, that's a relief, I have to admit. It's been a long time since we've seen a machine like yours above the area that wasn't aiming cannon fire down on us. But I remember the old stories, the flying cities, the adventurers that piloted from place to place across the world. Now we're in need of help. So you are going to act the part, or am I going to have to tell Pyle to get out of the walls again? He hates it when I do that. Every time one of those pirates buzzes by us, I can't get to sleep for hours. They always make such a racket. See? Now listen, if you're going to fly that thing, you should help us out. The old Airborne Kingdom was a place of learning, construction, and of valiant deeds. You can start by helping us rebuild our academy and market. That last pirate attack really did a number on us. What would you have us do? Well, Pyle can direct the building, but we need resources. Traveling by foot isn't safe anymore. But that doesn't look like much of a problem for you. We need wood and iron. Should be plenty in the nearby area. Any questions? Nope. I will return. Alright, well if we need iron, one of the things I could do is destroy one of the academies, recoup the material, and then use the lift that academy was offering, or requiring, to build the iron forge. And here comes nighttime. There is a day-night cycle, as you can see. Alright, Iron Forge is coming together. There it is. And the Iron Forge is now processing the ore that we've gathered into iron, so that we can build fans or help Haven Mill. So I still want to build lift fans and help Haven Mill. Also, additional houses would be nice, so that we could we could have more people working. You know, I don't want that path. Let's disassemble that. I was thinking of sticking a housing block in here, nested in. I think we have enough lift for it, so let's do it. More people working would be better. Water storage is almost full, so we'll put them over to the ore deposits. So, go to the tavern and fill up our ranks. I ran out of housing for the remaining people, but all those extra idle people will help us keep resource collection up. So probably the first thing I want to do is to add some lift, because there's a lot of people that want jobs down below, and adding a little extra lift and another housing district will allow me to hire them. Because I don't have enough lift to support any more houses. And then in 3 hours, we will have the propulsion upgrade added as well. And that costs 10 wood and 5 iron to construct. With all the idle people, I might as well construct some pathing that I'll use later. So over here is a cotton meadow, but I don't have a hemp weaver, so I don't know how to process that. So there's not much of a point filling my resource storage up with a resource I can't use. So I won't. And in just a second, yeah, there we go. Now I have enough to build a fan. So we were tilting to the right. We're tilting a little to the front, a little to the left with this new fan that is being built. But symmetrically, I'll get another one on the other side once it's built and adding lift. All right, so our lift capacity has gone up. Another housing block. And then I want to double back to that settlement there because there was people to be hired in there as well. I'm going to have you all decide on next research. So there'll be several options. We could do town center. We could do housing. We could do lift or production. So the town center is now adding propulsion once we upgrade it. And I'm going to try to save up some iron for that upgrade so that our town center isn't moving at 36% speed. So that's rather slow. So if we went with town center, I could have the town center provide extra lift. If we went for production, I could have the iron forge increase efficiency so that it could process ores faster. I could also go with storage. Well, you know, I'm going to do storage now because it's quick. Introduce the first foray into a new facility is always really fast. I could also increase the lift or coal efficiency of the fans, but those are the options so far. All right, there we go. We have hired everyone out. And I would say we need wood more than anything at the moment, so also wouldn't mind getting that original academy back. So getting that built, because that will help with research speed. I like to usually get like 4 or 5 academies. That seems to be like a good sweet spot. So 1 more iron and we'll have enough for the propulsion upgrade to the town center, and then I'll save up for helping Haven Mill. Do I have a specific shape in mind? No, I don't. Alright, so 30 seconds left on that poll. If you haven't voted already. And the town center is now getting upgraded. So it looks like we'll do... Let's do production and then town center. We'll do both. The upgrade is now done, so we've gone from 32 to 41% speed. And Haven Mill wants 5 iron and 25 wood, plus 2 people. Oops, I didn't mean to ask about pirates. Food, water, and coal are all totally fine right now. Of course, our coal usage has gone up as a result of the fans. Building some additional fans is always going to do that. So we're about to clear cut this forest. There's only 19 wood remaining there. And there should be a number somewhere around this forest that has the number 19. The numbers that you see next to a resource indicates how much of that resource is left. Like this 35. There's 35 coal in this deposit here. So this forest has 107. I don't actually see the number, but most things are numbered like that. Is the upgrade of a building changing its visual? Generally, yes. So in this case, the fan blades on the bottom of the town center increased in size, I believe, from the result of last upgrade. So it added a second set of blades. One more iron, and we'll be able to support Haven Mill. We can also change the color of the entire city. There are motifs and patterns. So like if we wanted a pink floating tower city thing, we could go pink. We could go with the sort of like Persian-inspired bronze and stucco sort of design. You can change a whole lot about it. Given that it's somewhat magical, I'm going to go with like... And I am, streaming on Twitch. We'll go with a Twitch purple. With some green accents. Alright, so we have the materials that we need. I'm going to recall 2 of my planes and deploy them as helpers to Haven Mill. So in 2 hours, we will have their academy rebuilt. We're repairing their city. And I already have the wood needed to improve the iron forge. So as soon as that research is done, I'll make that upgrade. The next thing I want to do is to add a fan blade lift on the other side, so that we're not listing to one side over another. And I also need some additional lift. Okay, so the other thing that you wanted me to upgrade is the town center, and I am going to do increase lift at home base. I'm going to have... Oh, you know what? Actually, the last one was propulsion. Well, when I upgrade the town center next, I'll keep a very close eye on it. I might have added these like back blades here. I'm not really sure, but I'll see if there is a visual indicator of the improvement. But here's the iron forge, getting a upgrade. And now it will produce iron a little bit faster. Haven Mill's almost finished being repaired. Nice. Oh, I missed an ancient ruin back there. Our workers are currently assisting... Oh, it's not done. I jumped the gun. There we go. Haven Mill is whole once again, thanks to our help. We should visit the academy. Well, would you look at that? You're our savior, kid. With the academy and market back operational, Haven Mill is going to fight another day, or live to fight another day. But we wouldn't be a gracious neighbor if we didn't pay you back in kind. Here, take this blueprint. Make sure to light your buildings and paths at night. It can be dangerous in the dark. You'll need glass to build street lamps, and that's rare resource these days. We'll give you enough to get started, but you'll probably want to make your own eventually. Thank you. Oh, and you're so polite too. I told Pyle you're the real thing. Give the blueprint to a scholar at your academy. They'll know what to do with it. You're all over city now. You'll have to start acting like it. Would a challenge be like no lift other than the town hall be possible? Maybe, but it probably wouldn't be fun. Now I have to ask one more thing, but I think you'll also get something out of this. There are dangerous times. Haven Mill has never been of warriors, but we might need better defenses than hoping another sympathetic flying city comes along to help us out. No offense, of course. We'll be fine as long as we have a defensive tower or two operational. Do us a favor and talk to Marner at Castor Regnum. He'll be able to help you out. On it. So, now that it has an academy, I can buy upgrades. And the first upgrade I want to buy is a propeller, because movement speed is amazing, and not having it sucks. But there's also the hemp weaver to be able to turn cotton into cloth, a clinic to heal workers, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it starts to become necessary to heal people at around 30 pop. Food silo, water tower, and coal storage, all for increased storage of that stuff. So your warehouse stores ore, crystals, wood, and cotton, cloth, glass, that kind of stuff, but not water, food, or coal. And then the market. So currently we have 0 glass. So here's a market, and we can buy goods, like buying glass. So I'm going to buy 4, and then we can also sell goods as well. So one way to make a lot of money is to really efficiently process a material, like let's say ore into iron, and then sell bulk iron at towns. But the research that we just got is for street lamps, which allows us to illuminate beyond the town hall, which is really very crucial. Thank you for tuning in to Airborne Empire, which originally streamed live on Twitch June 11th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Airy members.